Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television's on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. Now the news info. The persistent increase in the price of petroleum metal spirit, popularly called petrol, is taking a heavy toll on Nigerian residents in Abuja as transport costs continue to soar across the country's capital. Commuters, drivers and small business owners say the high cost of petrol is disrupting daily routines and stretching household budgets to the limit. Kabir Hassan tells us more.
The removal of fuel subsidy and the continual rise in petrol prices have had a ripple effect on the cost of transportation across Nigeria. Commuters at major parks and residents says fares have more than doubled, with many now working long distance or cutting down on their daily movements.
Every day petrol going up, and then even food price, and then the problem of this country is petrol. Anytime that petrol go up, everything will go high.
Petrol is the major substance in the economy. Anything that affects petrol affects the cost of living of everybody.
The CNG, they try to help, but you know why they rampart. It is very low price. It's affordable, but the fuel is not affordable like that.
Every day you will see fuel price increment without consultation, without even hearing from masses. Honestly, it's really affecting us.
You see, the cost of Nigeria is fuel. Say they hear me. If the fuel can go down to 500, the cost of Nigeria will reduce.
Please, the government should work on that by reducing the price of fuel.
For many residents of Abuja, the struggle is not just about earning a living. It also borders on the ability to afford getting to work, the market, or even schools. As fuel prices remains high and fares follow suit, the hopes for many Nigerians is a lasting solution that eases the pressure on everyday citizens. Kabir Hassan reporting for Global TV News.
The All Progressive Congress APC has fixed its National Executive Committee meeting for July 24th in Abuja. This was announced by the party's Deputy National Secretary Festus Frontier following the National Working Committee meeting held today in Abuja. The next meeting is expected to discuss and decide on the date for the elective National Convention where party leaders will be elected. There is a heightened security presence at the Wadata Plaza, the national headquarters of the People's Democratic Party PDP in Abuja, as armed policemen has been deployed ahead of the party's crucial National Executive Committee meeting scheduled for today. The police were being reportedly deployed to prevent the proposed expanded caucus meeting from taking place. However, some staff members of the party were allowed to go into the premises of the Secretariat without any resistance from the police. Meanwhile, a staff member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Thomas Ibu, was reportedly manhandled and arrested by police officers at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja amid growing tension over the scheduled 100th National Executive Committee meeting. Armed police officers were seen surrounding and detaining Ibu, who works in the party's publicity department. Attempts by other PDP staff to intervene were unsuccessful as the officers overpowered them and took Ibu away. The reason for his arrest had not been disclosed at the time of filing this report. Workers under the Federal Capital Territory Administration took to the streets in protest, expressing displeasure over poor welfare conditions and the government's failure to address their long-standing demands. The protesters are calling for the payment of outstanding salaries, implementation of minimum wage and stalled promotions, demanding for the immediate action of the FCT minister. They also raised concerns over the ongoing strike by government primary schools, which they say reflects the broader neglect of the public sector. Over now to Priscilla Obasi, who was there for Global Television.
Chanting in unison and holding placards, the FCT workers are gathered here in protest, voicing their frustrations over months of unpaid salaries, delayed promotion, poor welfare, ongoing strike in government-owned primary schools, and the non-implementation of minimum wage, they say, reflects a larger failure in the system. Global Television is here to listen to the plea of these workers, to understand their plight and know what will come out of this protest. Here's what they have to say.
Slave us before we regretted having him as a minister in FCT. When he come, we think it go better. We think things go better, but we never knew the reverse is the case.
It's our health. Even when we go to national health insurance and hospitals, we can't access good drugs to take as staff. Our transport system is not even enough. So we are not happy that we are just there. Our promotion has been there, has been started for over 3 years now. We have not gone for promotion. Our training has stopped all of a sudden. So how do we become more productive and more efficient like other our counterparts in other climes of the world?
We are demanding for our salary to be paid, our salary for 6 months to be paid. We are enforcement squads, Abuja Environmental Protection Board enforcement squads. For the past 6 months, we did not receive any salary from anywhere.
We're protesting against irregular flow of salary in the sense that what you get today, this month, is what you get next month. We don't understand what is happening. You get 100,000 today, tomorrow you get 80,000. We're protesting against such irregularities. We're protesting against our children, primary school pupils, being at home for months. Some of them, we have to organize for them to join the private schools to write their common entrance because September is by the corner.
You've heard directly from the protesters. Their concerns are clear and their demands are urgent. As the demonstration continues, the workers say they will not back down until the government takes concrete steps to attend to their matter. From Global Television, I am Priscilla Obasi. Chanting in unison.
Styrofoam containers appear to be making a comeback in Lagos despite the state government's enforcement of a ban on their use and distribution which began a year ago. The ban, introduced in January 2024, was part of effort to curb the environmental damage caused by the single-use plastics, including non-biodegradable polyethylene foam, commonly known as styrofoam. The Lagos State government, through the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, had confiscated styrofoam products found in shops across the state during the initial phase of enforcement. Over now to the National Health Insurance Authority has sanctioned 49 healthcare facilities and 47 health maintenance organizations in 2024 over violations of its operational guidelines. A statement signed by the authority's Acting Director of Media and Public Relations, Emmanuel Onenipono, noted that the key issues recorded in the complaint against HCFs were unavailability of medicines, denial of service, out-of-pocket payment for covered service, and non-provision of payment narrations. For the HMOs, it said the issues were related to delays or denials of referral, authorization codes, delays in settlement of agreed reconciled payments, refusal to monitor quality assurance in facilities. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund has warned students to be cautious of a fake portal with fraudulent messages currently circulating online. This is contained in a statement in Abuja on Monday by the fund's Director of Strategic Communications, Oseyemi Oluwatui. Oluwatui said the information contained in the online message was misleading. The Federal High Court in Abuja granted the suspended senator representing Kogi Central Senatorial District, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, bail on self-recognition. Akpoti was arraigned on a 6-count charge bordering on alleged cybercrime. After the charges were read to her, she pleaded not guilty to all. The governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, led a delegation to the funeral rites of the late business mogul and elder statesman Aminu Dantata in Medina, Saudi Arabia. Dantata, a renewed philanthropist and industrialist, died in the early hours of Saturday in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, where he had spent his final days. A statement by the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Tofa, said The high-power delegation includes the Emir of Kano, Khalifa Muhammadu Sanusi II, Jigawa State Governor Alhaji Umar Namadi, former Jigawa State Governor Al-Sa'ad Beninkudu, and other top government officials and dignitaries. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 election, Peter Obi, has confirmed he will contest the 2027 presidential election. Obi added that he was willing to serve a single 4-year term if elected. He made the declaration while speaking during a live session on X Spaces, where he answered questions from supporters both in Nigeria and abroad. The National Association of Nigerian Students has announced plans to stage a mass protest on Wednesday, July 2, 2025, over the continued closure of public primary schools in the Federal Capital Territory. The student body described the situation as unacceptable and a grave injustice to the Nigerian child. The association had issued a 7-day ultimatum to Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to reopen public primary schools in Abuja following the continued closure of schools for over 2 months due to unresolved issues between the FCT administration and the local government education authorities. Tension has gripped communities in Guma local government area of Benue State following a fresh attack by suspected armed herders that claimed the lives of 4 mobile police officers. The coordinated assault, which reportedly started in Asha community where the attackers fired sporadically, forced residents to flee into nearby bushes for safety. Violence quickly spread towards Otese, a settlement hosting thousands of internally displaced persons. Details have emerged on how notorious bandit kingpin Kachala Yellow Dambokolo died at the weekend in Zamfara State after an earlier gun battle with Shinkifa volunteer forces in the state. Dambokolo's death is being widely celebrated in Zamfara State and many parts of the northwest state, as many locals know him as the most dreaded bandit in the zone, even more dangerous than his cousin Bello Tarjay, whom they described as a mayor spokesperson. It was reported that Dambokolo and more than 173 bandits were killed after the blustering surprise attack by the volunteer forces. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, Nigeria emerged victorious at Egypt World African Fencing Championships. Details coming shortly, plus sports and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, President Bola Tinubu has approved a new policy authorizing the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, ICRC, to independently improve public-private partnership projects below 20 billion naira, removing the need for Federal Executive Council clearance in such cases. Under the directive, ministries can now approve PPPs under 20 billion naira, while agencies and parastatals can handle those below 10 billion naira. The policy is designed to fast-track project delivery and attract more private investment into infrastructure. Over now to Nigerians, promissory notes fell by 15.6% quarter-on-quarter between December 2024 and March 2025, according to the Debt Management Office, DMO. DMO says the notes fell from 1.542 trillion naira to 1.301 trillion naira, reflecting the recent federal government's effort to settle verified obligations and improve confidence among key stakeholders in the economy. The DMO data further stated that it also represents a 17.1% decrease year-on-year from March 2024 to March 2025. China has lifted a ban on seafood imports from most regions of Japan, partially mending a years-long dispute over Tokyo's handling of nuclear wastewater. China and Japan are key trading partners, but increased fractions over territorial rivalries and military spending has frailed ties in recent times. Japan's brutal occupation of parts of China before and during World War II remains a sore point, with Beijing accusing Tokyo of failing to atone for its past. Asian equities mostly rose on Monday following a record-breaking day on Wall Street as investors kept tabs on countries' effort to strike trade deals with the United States before key deadlines next week. And the dollar weakened on growing expectations for more interest rate cuts, while eyes were on Donald Trump's signature tax-cutting bill now inching towards a Senate vote that some experts warn could add trillions of dollars to the national debt. Officials from Japan and India have extended their stay in Washington to continue talks, raising hopes for agreement with two of the world's biggest economies. And on the foreign news now, United Nations conference aiming to rally fresh support for development aid began in Spain on Monday, with the sector in crisis as United States-led funding cuts jeopardize the fight against poverty. At least 50 world leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, Kenya's William Ruto, European Union Chief Ursula von der Leyen, and United Nations head Antonio Guterres are gathering in the city of Seville for the June 30th, July 3 meeting. Senegalese President Diomaye Faye, Ecuador Daniel Noboa, Angolan leader Joao Lourenço, and Sudanese Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan also joined more than 4,000 delegates from businesses, civil society, and financial institutions. The United States Citizens and Immigration Service has announced a significant policy change affecting refugees and asylum seekers. Effective July 3, 2025, the agency says it will only recognize legally registered civil marriage between principal refugees or asylees and their spouses when considering derivative immigration applications. This shift could have far-reaching implications for applications from countries where customary or religious unions are common. Israel says it is interested in striking peace agreements with neighboring Lebanon and Syria, and potentially historic shift in the region after decades of war and armistice. With Syria under the new leadership after the fall of longtime ruler Bashar al-Assad and Lebanon Iranian-backed Hezbollah movement weakened, Israel Foreign Minister Gideon Star told journalists his government wanted more normalization agreements with Arab countries. Control of Israel-occupied Golan Heights has long been a source of tension between Israel and Syria, which are technically still at war. In sports now, the Nigerian women's beach volleyball team has qualified for the 2024 World Championship in Adelaide, Australia, scheduled to hold from November 14th to 23rd. The pair of Esther Umba and Pamela Bauer beat Egypt 2-1 to finish in third place at the just concluded African Volleyball Confederation Continental Championship in Morocco. Head coach of the team, Kayode Ajalore, told reporters that the players showed class and brilliance in delivering their jobs. Ajalore said the results in Morocco was an indication of hard work and determination from the entire team. Still on women's football now, Nigeria's women EP team celebrated a historic milestone at the 23rd African Fencing Championship for securing their first ever win in the competition on Sunday to finish in the top 5. The 5-day tournament hosted by Charterhouse Lagos concluded with Egypt emerging as the overall champion after amassing the highest number of gold medals. After a quarter-final loss to Algeria, the Nigerian team, comprising Samochukwu Eberen, Sarah Idongesik, and Adebudurin Thomas, rallied to end their campaign on high. Now that's it on Global TV News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good evening.